The market is looking pretty good right now, where we're almost back to all-time highs. Gaming as an entire category is up over $1 billion in the last few days alone. And there are a couple big things that are happening in that niche. Because right now, when this video goes live, the token sale for Swords of Blood should be live as well. The game is going to launch on August 21st, and on the 3rd of September, the centralized exchange listing as well as the token generative event TGE is happening. And with the game being pretty fun to play, even mentioned by a couple accounts on X like Hyperplay for example, that listed them as #1 on their list over here of their most played games, but then also Play2Earn showed them as the game with the highest growth not too long ago. And the game looks pretty fun. I will insert some gameplay here so you get a better understanding of what it's all about, as it is the ultimate hack and slash that is coming to ApeChain, one of their partners that we are also going to talk about in a little bit. And the entire game is free to play. You can play it both on PC as well as mobile. There are hundreds of hours of gameplay in the game itself, and with the partners that they have and the way they built the game, it's a Web 2.5 model. What does that mean? Good question. In Web 2, you have your email, you have your login, and you start playing a game and your account is centralized. In Web 3, everything is decentralized. In this case, you have a combination of both. For example, with Sequence Wallet, you can be a Web 2 person, so you don't need to create a wallet, but still have access to blockchain as well as NFTs in-game. Immutable being one of their partners, as they have the all-access pass to Web 3 gaming, and arguably also the biggest marketplace when it comes to in-game assets and NFTs, with gas-free transactions, instant confirmations, all of the good stuff. And then because they're coming to ApeChain, powered by ApeCoin, which you might recognize from the Bored Apes, they have been building over the last couple of years since last bull run, and have it as their mission to use Ape as a token to support high-quality builders and reinforce 3 core pillars: the ApeChain, Bored Ape Yacht Club, as well as the other site, which is part of the ecosystem but also part of their D-apps. And if you have been around gaming as well as NFTs since last bull run, you have seen ApeChain and what the team is building and investing in pretty much constantly as they keep working. ApeChain itself is going to be a layer 3 EVM built on Arbitrum, so pretty much instant transactions, perfect for gaming, which then also for Swords of Blood means that most of the NFTs are going to be launched on that chain, as well as the token that is going to come. Now for the token, that is called HBox, as the company behind it is called Hitbox Games. And with the combination that we have of ApeChain plus Sequence plus IMX, as well as Hyperplay and Olympics, they have a token launch that they haven't really marketed yet. So this is like one of those hidden gems where the marketing has yet to happen, but they did all the work first. And it's fairly often in crypto. They do all the marketing and they have a coin to sell you, but they don't have anything working. They have no working product, they don't have a game that is fun. And in here they did all the work first. They have a game that is fun to play. And yet just in Q2 have over 50,000 organic players with 8,000 daily active users, a great retention rate, and then also a pretty active Discord and community. And I'm pretty sure you're going to see this game over and over the next couple weeks until they launch. And where they did already agree to a centralized exchange for the listing, which will help with more user acquisition and marketing, that is yet to be announced. So it's almost like a mystery box. You don't know where. But as a reminder, if a token gets listed on any exchange, just like Peanut last year, it can go from 8 cents up to 170 just based on hype alone. And that is with the single exchange. There are obviously always the options to have more listings coming in the future, but that for a token point of view is already a good start. Now for the token in-game, there has been an organic demand for in-game items. There are things like dungeon passes, for example, that generate extra revenue, and they already cover the operational cost and price pools for tournaments that they have without the token being released. So where most games have an economy where players have to buy token, hype goes up, team has to sell tokens to make money, they've developed the economy so that it works even without the token. And they also recognize the problem that most Web3 games have, and that is token inflation, which leads to player growth rates, and then token investments that fall down to 0, coupled with most gaming experiences. If we think about Web3 games, they're pretty garbage. Like if you wouldn't make money with the game, you wouldn't play it. And then the rewards that you get, they're worth like a couple cents at best, which you then also sell, and then the game just dies down and nah. And they fixed that so far. Now, if you have Epic Games installed, you can also get the game, as I'll have that link down below as well. And if you are into a mix of cross-platform play, games like Path of Exile, Diablo, anything that is hack and slash, you might like it too. Keep in mind, this one is free to play, so if you don't like it, you can uninstall it. Nobody's forcing you to do anything. But if you see the proposition of where they're at and the partners that they have, plus the fact that the token is about to launch with TGE in a month from now, then you might see the value this one can go to. When I started this channel, and I think it's still my first video on this, I played Crypto Blades. That was a great game. You clicked and that was it. But because people saw with Play-to-Earn games you can make some money, the token went up by a lot. It went from like $1 or so up to 160. Now the volume is 0 and the game is obviously dead because there's nothing happening and they had lots of updates that never came. But back then, when the game where you simply clicked went to a market cap of like 90 mil, Imagine what is going to happen when this bull run continues, with Bitcoin being at its all-time high again. Gaming is going to pick up, and people now during summer holidays being on vacation, having some free time, some extra time off, trying out some different games. There's probably a world of possibilities where the token might be worth something. Now for the token, which again should be live right now, so you can purchase that at TGE, that is going to be worth half a cent. For the pre-sale token price, for which you can buy it right now, it's going to be half of that. So 0.25 cents per token, which means you would get a 2x guaranteed if you buy now in the pre-sale phase and then sell immediately at TGE. In order for that to not happen, because otherwise there's like one whale who just spends 100k, doubles his money on TGE, sells that, and everybody else has to suffer through it, they have a couple mechanics for that, with a dynamic vesting schedule behind that. If you spend less than $1,000, you get 25% of the tokens at TGE and the remainder over 3 months, with linear vesting. By the way, everything I mentioned for vesting is all linear. If you spend between $1,000 and $2,499, you get 15% at TGE and the rest over 6 months investing. Between 2.5k and 4,999, you get 10% at TGE and the rest over 12 months. And if you spend $5,000 or more, you will get 5% released at TGE and over the next year and a half, 18 months of linear vesting. So keep in mind, even though your token will double in value at TGE, if you invest less than $1,000, you will get 1/4 of your tokens, which means if you sell everything immediately, you would have 50% of your investment recouped, and the rest gets released over 3 months in linear vesting. So I would say, if you do have the time and you're into gaming anyways, try the game. The game is fun to play. And if you then like it and you also play actively, so you can participate in tournaments, play and earn that way, then you might also see the long-term vision and where they're heading towards. Obviously, nothing is financial advice. I'm just showing you things that I think are pretty interesting that are launching right now that you might have not heard of yet. Links to everything down below. Check out the Discord and the community, and I think you'll like it too. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care.